So here I am. I've written down all your questions from the last post. I am trying to categorize them with some different markers just to have like the smaller and the short answers in one part of the video and the longer answers in the other part. So I'm just gonna do that. I will be with you in a second. Boeing or Airbus? Boeing. Where were you born and raised? I was born and raised in Amsterdam, well actually Monnikendam, a small town close to Amsterdam in Holland. Which phone you use for Instagram stories? The Samsung Galaxy S6. Have you ever seen UFOs? No, thankfully not. Will you come to Bilbao? Not next year. I am super happy in Palermo. What's your favorite plane? The Boeing 717. Would you fly with the Blue Angels? I would love that if they would invite me. Have you ever flown a Mooney? No, I haven't. Do you like ice skating? Yes, I do. I'm from Holland. All of us like ice skating. What's your next destination? My next destination is going to be Napoli tomorrow. Have you ever done glider flying? This is translated from Dutch. Yes, I've gone one time for glider flying in Terlet, in Holland. What high school did you do? It was just a normal high school. In Holland we don't have any aeronautical high schools. I just went to a normal high school with all other normal people. Have you ever played a practical joke on your passengers? No, I don't think that would be professional. Since how many years have you been flying? How old were you when you started flying? I was 18 years old when I started flying in the flight school, and I started flying commercially when I was 21, so that's 3 years now. Are you single? No, I'm not single. And do you have a boyfriend? Yes, I have a boyfriend since a few months now, and I'm really happy. Have you ever considered flying for KLM? KLM would be a great option to fly for. Right now I believe they are not recruiting anyone outside the KLM Flight Academy. Yes, KLM, I really like the company, but for now I'm not planning to go to the KLM. How did you get your commercial flying license? I explained all of this in vlog number 20. So if you're really curious, have a look at vlog number 20. Which airplane would you wish to fly? My favorite plane is the Boeing 717, but if I could choose any plane in any time period, I would go for the Concorde, because yes, I think it's a magical plane and I would have loved really to fly the Concorde. Traveling all the time, how does this affect my life and my marriage, and does the career allows me to spend time and raise a family? Yes, it's actually quite good possible. Well, I'm not married, but it is actually quite easily possible because I sleep every night at home. It is here in Sicily, so it's not where I'm from, but I am super happy to have my life here, and if I would at any moment in the future, if I would have a family, that would be great, and I would definitely be able to, I would need to, put some logistics in, and I would try and make it work, but yes, it's definitely possible. The most beautiful moment is probably the feeling that I get when I take off, when I feel the power in my hands, knowing I have so many passengers behind me, so much trust in my hands, and the moment I lift off during takeoff, that's probably the most amazing moment, because it gives such an amazing sense of freedom, having the whole world on your feet basically. That's probably the most beautiful moment. And the worst moment of work is probably before work, because it's waking up early in the morning. Yeah, I'm sorry, it's just I will never be a morning person. I've always loved flying, and I always thought it was so difficult to become a pilot, but in the end it was all possible. It was very expensive and it was difficult, but it has been all worth it, and I'm so happy to have chosen this career. Have you ever been underestimated because you're a woman in aviation? Not really, maybe by some passengers, if they expected maybe a bad landing because I was a woman or something. But in the end, I mean, I have never felt, by my colleagues, I've never felt treated differently or something. How long do you plan to continue to fly the 717? Well, for now, I love the Boeing 717 so much. As you said, it's my beloved Boeing 717. I don't plan on moving to any other plane or any other company. I really like the Boeing 717 so much, and I'm super happy here, so I don't have any reasons to change. If at some point the fleet changes and I will be having to move to another plane, that's great, because I would love to discover another plane, but for now, really, it will definitely be another few years on the 717. Eyesight. A proper eyesight is you don't have to have perfect eyes to become a pilot. I think you can even wear glasses. On the internet you can surely find how much plus or minus you're allowed to have. If you wear glasses, you should always bring, on any flight, you should bring an extra pair of glasses or contact lenses, so that in case your glasses get lost or break, that you will still be able to perform flying wise perfectly, because you have a backup. Do you ever get scared? Are you ever afraid? And how to deal with it? I'm not afraid of flying, not at all. I believe in myself, I believe that I have the skills, I believe that I have the knowledge of the procedures that are required to fly the plane, so I never really get scared. I know that there are some circumstances, some situations that could happen that would make it really difficult to fly the plane and to land the plane safely, but it does not cause me any reason to be scared. We just have to trust the plane, we have to trust the maintenance, and we have to trust ourselves, and we just know that we will do everything possible to get the plane always at any time safe on the ground, and this is all we can do. Should you take a loan, or would you be able to pay it back? I took a loan. There was another question, how much did you pay to become a pilot? The flight school costed me, and this was including 2 years of accommodation. The flight school costed me 94,500 euros. That's a lot. I took a loan from the bank because I was not able to afford it. I was 18 years old. I took a loan from the bank, and I'm still paying it off. Every month I pay my interest, and I try to pay a little bit more to pay back the debt. This is something that will maybe take me 8 or 10 years, but that's alright, because it was an investment in my future, in my career. So yes, should you take a loan? If you find a job as a pilot, you will definitely be able to pay it back, because the pilot salaries are high enough to allow you to pay back the debt, the loan that you have with the bank. What is your most romantic flying memory? That was probably when I landed the plane for the very first time. This is such an amazing experience, and it gave me so much confidence. Yeah, it must have been my favorite memory in my career so far. My company appreciates it if people don't take their cameras and their phones out while flying, and I completely respect that. They want us to be professional and focus on the job, and therefore not take any pictures or videos while flying. So yes, this is why I really enjoy taking the GoPros in the small aircraft that I fly, just to show you how amazing it is to fly and to show you a bit of the nature around here. And to be honest, I think flying at a low altitude with a single engine plane is so much more beautiful. I really hope that you enjoy still the GoPro videos that I take in the little planes, and that's it. High wing or low wing? I would go for high wing because it allows us to see more of the nature below, because there is no wing blocking the view basically. Last year I went to New York and we did a helicopter flight with Fly Nyon, and it was awesome, really. I loved it so much. But my goal has always been to fly commercially in an airline, and so no, I've never considered really flying helicopter, but maybe in the future. The steps you have to take to become a pilot, I have talked about that in vlog 20 if you're interested in becoming a pilot. How many hours of flying to become a captain? I think it depends from company to company, but it could take you maybe 10 years, but in other companies maybe they would ask for only 3,000 hours of flying time. So it really depends from company to company. Did you ever think about joining Airbus or Boeing to build a plane? No, I'm not an engineer. I'm really a pilot, and I love being a pilot. I don't think being an engineer would be suitable for me, I think. I don't know. Never thought about it. What advice would you give someone that wants to work in aviation without experience? Well, go for it. Apply. Apply for schools, academies, companies. Make your way in and see if it's something for you. I think it's great, but I mean, you just have to try it. If you don't try, you will never know. If you have a CPL from that country... Okay, so if you don't have a citizenship in that country, but you did do your CPL there, and you have the right to live and work in that country, I don't think you need the citizenship to be hired by that company. But I think this is a very, very general answer. It's all I can give you because I don't know any other details and I don't know which countries we're talking about. But in Europe for sure. Where you had your most difficult landing? Well, I was not flying myself, but I think Mykonos is the most difficult airport I've ever landed, even though I was not flying myself. But even as pilot non-flying, Mykonos in Greece, but also Skiathos and Santorini, they're captain only landing, so I would never, until I become a captain, I would not have to land there. But even being the pilot non-flying, I would have a lot of respect every time my captain would land there. Was it difficult to take the pilot license? Yeah, well, it required a lot of studying, and the practical part was just fun. I mean, I learned a lot, and obviously we had to focus on learning to fly the plane, but it was so amazing that it was not really difficult because I was so motivated. But the studying, the theory part, yes, it was 14 subjects, and yes, it was quite difficult, I would say. But also that in vlog 20 I've talked about that a lot.